Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Small College Basketball National Award Show. Stay tuned and enjoy this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the founder of Small College Basketball, John McCarthy.
Well, welcome. Welcome to the 2024 Small College Basketball National Awards Show. It's an honor and privilege to be here, and in particular, to have all of you here with us this evening. Tonight, we're going to honor, as you're well aware, the national championship coaches along with our national award winners. But let me back up and tell you a little bit about how we got to this point, how we got here tonight. As many of you are aware, I think it's safe to say that I am a basketball junkie. As I've gotten a little bit older, however, and hopefully matured, that's debatable, I presume, especially if you ask my wife, I think I've realized that I'm really more of a people junkie. I just love people. Love to spend time lifting people up. And through this platform of Small College Basketball, we have the opportunity to do that, to honor people, to lift them up. And I want to talk to you just for a moment about the term that we use when we talk about small college. The term that when we use that term small college, what we refer to in today's world is all four-year men's college basketball that is non-NCAA Division I. So in today's world, that's NCAA Division II, NCAA Division III, the NAI, and the National Christian College Athletic Association. So for years, I created files on my computer about some thoughts of things that I wanted to do, and I found documents on my computer back to 2009 on the creation of Small College Basketball, which we formally announced down the street at the College Basketball Experience in a press conference in November of 2015. And it became reality at that point. We started with the concept of the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Fame Classic, and shortly around that time we announced the creation of our first national award, the Bevo Francis Award. As such, when we built this, we started a mission to begin with, and that mission was and is to help unite all people with a passion for the game of basketball at the small college levels, and to serve as ambassadors for our game. So after years of creating all these documents and so on, we launched, as we talked about, and today, if we fast forward under the umbrella of small college basketball, we now have the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame Classic, the Champions Classic, 5 national awards, which are the Bevo Francis Award, the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Harry Statham Coach of Impact Award, the Larry Smith Award, and our newly created Trevor Hudgens Award. As well, we also have the newly branded Small College Basketball Association. We've built the tribute to small college basketball. We have multiple social media outlets at this point, as well as a Small College Basketball podcast. So several years ago, we created the Small College Basketball Foundation, which is our 501c3 nonprofit arm of small college basketball. And we've also started with the LLC, the Small College Basketball LLC. And I'm here to tell you tonight that just within the last few weeks, we've officially closed Small College Basketball LLC and run everything now under the nonprofit arm of the Small College Basketball Foundation. We have a board of directors in place. We have a number of those folks here with us this evening, and in this role, I will serve as the executive director of the Small College Basketball Foundation. To the outside world, it really won't mean anything different other than we operate fully as a nonprofit organization, the Small College Basketball Foundation. So to fast forward a little bit, I just want to thank a few people. I want to thank, this is an interesting dynamic that has evolved over the course of time. There's been a lot of people here and otherwise that have been very kind with their words about what we've done under small college basketball, and I tend to get a bit of credit. But I think it's really important to understand that while I'm very fortunate to get to stand up here and at our Hall of Fame and a number of other places and be the face, if you will, there's a lot of people that do an awful lot that don't get recognized an awful lot. And I want to make sure that those people get the credit, the recognition. For example, Matt Ankenbrandt, who's hiding back here behind this side, has carried us with what you see on the website. When you see the press releases, that's all Matt, and he's the one who gets that done. He should get all the credit for the press releases, the website, and so much other content that's created. Rick Wagner creates literally, I believe, just about, with the exception of one or two pieces, all of the videos since the inception of small college basketball, and we're well over 100 videos, whether it's our Hall of Fame inductees or award winners. Rick Wagner has been the guy who's got that all done. In the back, Dan Snell has been our voice of God with every event that we've had, every national award show, every Hall of Fame induction ceremony since 2016, with one exception. He has been our voice of God all the way through. Chris Cottrell runs our podcast, has been doing that for 3 years and has done every edition of our podcast. We're well over 50 editions of the podcast, and he's done all of that. So I think it's important that those people get the credit. Additionally, we have 3 national committees. We have the National Awards Committee, the Hall of Fame Committee, and the Small College Basketball Association National Committee. We have coaches all throughout the country that serve on those committees, and I'm incredibly grateful for those people that have handled those functions for years, and many people have been on those committees for many years, and I'm just so grateful for all of the help and assistance that those people have given through all those committees. Importantly, in addition to the people we're going to recognize on stage tonight, I'd like to recognize a few people that may not be on stage that have been very significant in the world of college basketball. First, I saw Wade here, Wade Hageman from the NABC. He's been coming to this function for a number of years. But in addition to showing up here, of which we're incredibly grateful, we had for the first time ever, small college basketball had a presence at the NABC convention at the Final Four in Phoenix to run our first ever small college basketball social at the Final Four, and that's because of Wade's help. He pushed that up and down the ladder to make that happen. We're very grateful to the NABC for giving us that platform, giving us that room at the Final Four. So thank you to Wade and the NABC for that. In addition, in our presence today, we have our 2022 Larry Smith Award winner, Mr. Ron Johnson is with us here today. We also have the inaugural Lifetime Achievement Award winner with us, and Mr. John Hudson is here with us today. In addition, there are 3 people that are present here this evening that have been former college presidents, and we're very fortunate that Reggie Swinenka is here, who's been the president at Southwestern College in Oklahoma and Ottawa University in Kansas. So he's been the president of 2 different universities. We have Lauren Gresham that's here, former president at Southern Nazarene, and we have Mr. Jim Bond. We are very grateful to have him in our presence today. Mr. Jim Bond has been the president at Point Loma Nazarene. A building is named after him overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and eventually served as the general superintendent of the Nazarene Church worldwide. We're very pleased to have him with us here with his beautiful bride, Sally, as well. I sincerely thank all of you for taking the time to be here with us this evening. We're going to turn it over to our opening video. We're going to debut the video tonight for the 2023-24 season highlight video for small college basketball. And I must get in a little personal tidbit before we play this. And this is, I've gone off script a little bit here, a little bit of a proud dad moment. My son, Sean McCarthy, put this together this year, so I'm very grateful to him for his work on that. So my proud dad moment. Let's turn it over to the video screens. Take it away. Check out some of the great plays, shots, moments, and celebrations of the college basketball season by watching this, the 23-24 Small College Basketball Season Highlight Video. What a game, and what a season it's been.
Evidently, 2-point game. Adams throws it in, he throws it away. Wisman's got it. Ruffalo, 9 seconds left. There's Rogers from way downtown and in! And Cedarville leads by 1 with 6 seconds left. The final possession of the half, potentially on the jump ball, dangles in! The putback by the Owls at the buzzer. Francis Oswena on the putback. For Tipton, back for James and now Oladapo. Pivot, goes back for Tipton. Tipton driving to the basket. Tipton, no good, and we are in. It's in. It's over.
To go. First free throw by Dreamer is no good. Rebound. They're not going to take a timeout. Malik across the timeline. Malik to Hayskamp for the win. His shot is up.
Now keep those eyes and your attention to the video screens as we showcase the 2024 NCAA Division II National Champions, the 2024 NCCAA Division I National Champions, and the 2024 NCCAA Division II National Champions.
Minnesota State defeated Nova Southeastern 88-85 as Kyrese Willingham hit a game-winning three with under 1 second left to win the NCAA Division II National Championship. Malik Willingham, who was first-team All-American, was named MVP of the Elite Eight after going for 14 points, 5 steals, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds in the title game, and averaging 18 points, 5.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2.6 steals in the Elite Eight. Congratulations to Coach Matt Margenthaler and the Mavericks team, who finished the season by winning 16 straight games and an overall record of 35-2 in the NCAA Division II National Championship. Cedarville defeated Wayland Baptist 88-72 to win the NCCA Division I National Championship in Winona Lake, Indiana. Javon Moffmer finished with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, and was named Tournament Most Valuable Player. For the tournament, Moffmer averaged 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 5.6 assists per game. Congratulations to Coach Pat Eastep and the Yellow Jacket team for a 23-12 season and the NCCA Division I National Championship.
Hi, my name is Pat Eastep, head coach at Cedarville University. I want to start off by thanking John for the recognition that he gives to small college basketball and all the hard work that goes behind the scenes for all that he does for our sport. We started off this year playing in John's event, Small College Basketball Hall of Fame Classic in Florida. It was a tremendous event and gave us a great opportunity to showcase our team against some top-tier competition. We had a special year with a great group of guys, one of the most fun locker rooms that I've been privileged to be a part of in my 24 years at Cedarville. We had a tremendous team. Fell a little bit short of making the NCAA tournament, which was ultimately our goal. I think we finished just outside the cut for that. But it was a special group of guys. We led NCAA Division II basketball in three-pointers made. We had a really talented offensive team with some great players. One of those was Javon Moffmer, who was a player of the year in our league. And we had a lot of other good players, and Jacob Dries, Chris Rogers, and some young kids as well that stepped up throughout the year. Our guys did a really good job of resetting their minds heading into the NCCAA tournament. It was against some really good competition that we had to come away with those victories out there. So proud of them. I'm proud of their accomplishments throughout this year, winning 23 games and just coming away with being able to cut down the nets in our last game at the NCCAA National Tournament. So we're proud of that, and we're happy to be a part of it and happy to be a part of this event. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I hope you guys have a great time.
Crown defeated North Central University 75-72 to win the NCCA Division II National Championship in Minneapolis. Cade Carroll was named Tournament Most Outstanding Player and was sensational throughout the tournament, averaging 30.6 points, 10.6 rebounds, while shooting 56.8% from the field and going 18 for 19 from the free throw line. Congratulations to Coach Luke Herbert and the Polar team for a 20-10 season and winning the NCCA Division II National Championship.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the coach of the 2024 NCCAA Division II National Champions, Crown College, Coach Luke Herbert.
I feel a little bit like a poser up here. I don't do press conferences. I don't have those opportunities. So most of what I say is probably just going to be regurgitated from what I've seen on TV. So apologies in advance for that. But wanted to start out just by thanking John and everyone at Small College Basketball. Just a wonderful opportunity to showcase what's just a wonderful game at all the levels. And from Division II down to the NCCAA, there's some great players, great coaches, and great people. And so I'm just humbled to be a part of the group. I told my wife there's at least a couple coaches here that have about 10 times the career wins I do. And so again, just thankful to be here, thankful to John and the group. Also want to thank the faculty and staff, the administrators at Crown College that have supported myself and our program throughout the years, including a lot of my fellow coaches who are probably some of our program's biggest fans. Makes going to work just a joy every day. All the players and parents, not only this year, but just in all of my 14 years at Crown, there's just so much sacrifice and dedication that goes into things outside of our program, and our families are a huge part of that. I want to thank my assistant coaching team. Like many of you can relate to at the small college level, we don't have full-time assistant positions. So I've got a long-time assistant coach and a good friend, Inder Singh, who works really hard behind the scenes for our program. My top assistant, Noah Kant, is also our head golf coach, so has plenty to do. And then our staff was rounded out this year by a couple of students, former players, Seth Royston, Gabe Rojas Gomez, who just sacrificed so much while continuing to take classes and do everything that students do, and also just be a big part of our staff. For this squad of players, who you get to see their picture, and these guys right here, so thankful for them. It's a group that has largely stuck together for 4 years, which in today's college basketball landscape is pretty rare. And they've supported me on and off the court through some pretty difficult circumstances over the past couple years, and I'm just forever grateful to those guys. It really feels like a family, and that's what we preach. And so I'm grateful for them and just so happy for them to have gotten to experience this. And then most importantly, my family. My wife Lindsay is here, and she has seen more basketball games than I think she ever could have predicted. Not an athletic person or from a basketball family, and she just tags along, and I'm so grateful for her support. And then my 3 kids, who are all at really fun, different ages of experiencing basketball. My oldest, Sam, is now old enough to take the losses harder than I do. I'll come home and I'll be okay, and he's just devastated, and I appreciate that. My middle daughter, Maisie, who's 9, I think she spends more time in high school gyms than a lot of coaches do. She's my recruiting buddy, always ready for a road trip and to go watch some games. And then my youngest, Ruby, who will often ask me 20, 30 minutes after the final horn, "Did you win?" And it's really good perspective that she's just happy to be there and see all that excitement. So keeps me very much grounded, which is good. I'm lucky enough to coach at 2 levels that I'm very passionate about, both NCAA Division III and the National Christian College Athletic Association. Similarly, Crown is a place where I get to combine my passion for basketball with what I view as my calling for mentoring and discipling young men and college students. It's easy for me to talk to my players about their faith, about our identity in Christ, and about their spiritual walk. It's a trickier thing to get up here and to do that at a an awards ceremony or to outside audiences. But I just want to kind of channel something that Masters champion Scotty Scheffler said, and kind of some wisdom he had before his or after his win. And just, it's a rare and wonderful thing to win the last game of the season. And not many coaches, not many players get to experience that. But really our true victory has already been secured for us, and that's through Jesus' work on the cross. As exciting as winning a trophy is or hanging a banner is, that just far exceeds any excitement we could have from that. And the beautiful thing is it's a victory that everyone can experience and share in. So thank you.
Freed Hardeman defeated Langston 71-67 to win the NAIA National Championship at historic Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City. Hunter Skurlock finished with 12 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks, and 3 steals to earn Chuck Taylor Most Valuable Player honors. Congratulations to Coach Drew Stutz and the Lions team for winning 12 straight games, finishing 32-4 overall and winning the NAI National Championship.
Please welcome to the stage the head coach of the 2024 NAIA National Champions, Freed-Hardeman University, Coach Drew Stutz.
Good evening. I want to begin by saying a huge thank you to John McCarthy for the invitation to be here this weekend, participate in this event. My wife Amanda and I have had a great time and truly appreciate the time and effort you've put into making this a great experience for us as well as all the other coaches and players and their families. We appreciate you and what you mean to small college basketball. I'm going to stay on script because I know we've got to stay in a certain time frame. So since winning the 2024 Men's NAIA National Championship roughly a month ago, I've had many opportunities to speak publicly about Freed-Hardeman University, our basketball program, and our incredible season. If you didn't have an opportunity to see the NAIA National Championship game, and specifically the ending, I would encourage you to do so. We were down 6 or 7 with around 40 seconds to go in the championship game and found a way to overcome what seemed to be impossible odds. The only word I could come up with moments after that game and still a month later today is unbelievable. The fact that I'm the head coach at Freed-Hardeman University could also be described as unbelievable. 10 years ago, I was coaching 7th and 8th grade boys basketball in a small town in Alabama. Now, 10 years later, I'm a small college basketball national champion. I've been blessed over and over again in my life. I'm blessed with great Christian parents who still attend every game. They come to all the games they can come to, have always been there to support me and also to keep me grounded. I've been blessed with a great wife, Amanda. She was my first girlfriend. We started going out in 7th grade a while back. She's still stuck with me. She's here today. But we've got three healthy kids, Roman, Deacon, and Parker. I love my wife, my entire family, more than words can describe. In addition to having been blessed with a great family, I've also been blessed with great mentors. Mike Mitchell, Jay Mitchell, Jim Sanderson, and countless other coaches have been great Christian leaders and men that played a key role in my progression as a coach, but also as a man. 5 years ago, Freed-Hardeman University President David Shannon and Athletic Director Mike McCutcheon gave me an opportunity to lead this program, and I'm so thankful that they did. We built a great basketball program, but it's because we have a great Christian university. The FHU faculty and staff are incredible. I appreciate their support more than most of them know, and I'm so blessed to work side by side with them each day. Lastly, I want to thank my FHU staff and players. My assistants, Grant Burns and Jake Mitchell, have been awesome to have as assistant coaches. They both have been great to work with. They are assistant coaches, but they also are two of my best friends in the world. Working with these guys has been a blast, and I look forward to continuing our friendships for years to come. To my FHU players, thank you for everything. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so appreciative for the blood, sweat, and tears that you have invested into our program over the last 5 years. If you keep up with us on Twitter, one of our slogans that we have is "Elite is earned." It's something that we put out a couple years ago and something that we've referred to many times. And we've got national championship shirts now that say "Elite was earned." So I'll leave you with that, and then this is for the guys. You have arrived. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Trine defeated Hampton-Sydney 69-61 in Fort Wayne, Indiana to win the NCAA Division III National Championship. Cortez Garland scored 17 second-half points and finished with 22 to lead the Thunder, as he was named as the Final Four's Most Outstanding Player. Congratulations to Coach Brooks Miller and the Thunder team, who finished with an overall record of 29-4 and won the NCAA Division III National Championship.
And now let's welcome to the stage Coach Brooks Miller, the head coach of that 2024 NCCAA Division III National Champions, Trine University.
Thank you, John, for inviting my wife Gretchen and I here. I got two, we're here to represent a wonderful university in Trine University. And for all the coaches out here, really enjoyed getting to talk and meet with most of you. We're here because of the players. We represent the players. So KJ, Elijah, what a joy it's been to be a part of what you're about to experience tonight. But our players at Trine it's been such a special experience to be a part of this journey with them. An ever-changing college basketball landscape. We have 4-year players and 5th-year players at Trine that have been all-conference guys, that have been 4-year scout team guys, that have made this championship team possible. We've had 2-year transfer guys that have come in and played significant roles on a team that was 22-4 last year and came up short of our goal, that came in and added a real lift to our group. Cortez Garland came here he came here as a grad transfer, wanting to continue his education at Trine University and win a championship. And not only did we do that, but he became the most outstanding player in the NCAA tournament. And just very proud of the journey. And what I would really like to address is, in small college basketball, are we not more important in these young men's lives as coaches than we've ever been, and them for each other? This is the opportunity we still continue to have to build programs, to get these young men to understand it is still bigger than themselves, to be a part of something special and unique. And for the coaches that have had a chance to experience a national championship, a conference championship, whatever that championship may be, I think we have to continue to remember that we are there to help them learn and develop them as young men as much as we possibly can. So I'm very proud of the accomplishments of our team, and to have a role on that team, to show up every night and assist them any way we possibly can from the bench. It's been a real special journey. They've been a big part of our family. We hear people talk about life and balance in coaching. I'm here to tell you, there's no balance. They are our lives. You get the call at 11:30 at night that, "Coach, my battery's dead. Can you come help me with a ride?" Absolutely, we'll be there. Honey, I'll be back at whenever we get this thing fixed. "Coach, I just lost my dad." So there's a lot of different things that go on in these young men's lives that we're there for. And we're here tonight to celebrate them. And thank you very much for this opportunity. And hopefully we're up here again in a year or two or something like that. So, no, thank you very much, and congratulations to all the award winners that are here tonight. Thank you, John, for this opportunity.
I think so. So I get a cool moment here, a lot of cool moments tonight, but I get to take a few moments to talk about Coach Harry Statham here. I think many of you in the room know Coach Statham, and I want to make sure that those of you that don't do by the time that we walk out of here this evening. I'd like to pay a little tribute to Coach Statham, who's a longtime coach, as many of you are aware, 52 years the head coach at McKendree. A lot of people will talk about the wins, and that's the obvious, if you will, on the surface to talk about. Coach Statham became the first coach in the history of college basketball to win 1,000 games in his career, 1,000 games, and finished with 1,122 wins in his 52 years as the head coach at McKendree. In addition to the wins, I think his probably biggest recruit, biggest win in his life, and I think he'd probably agree, is by finding the love of his life in Rose, who's been by his side the entire time. Road games, home games. Rose very rarely missed anything in 52 years and has been a big backbone of the McKendree program, frankly, for 52 years. In addition to the wins, Coach Statham has been named the NAI, Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, Coach of the Year 12 times. And in 1987, he was inducted in the IBCA NAI Hall of Fame. In 1998, his career accomplishments and achievements were recognized with his induction into the NAI Hall of Fame. Coach Statham has received the American Midwest Conference Coach of the Year 8 different times, and he was a 6-time recipient of the NAI District 20 Coach of the Year. He was selected in 2001-2 as the NAI Basketball Coach of the Year in the country. In 2005, he was recognized by the NABC at the National Convention in St. Louis with the Guardians of the Game Leadership Award. It was an honor bestowed by his peers. That summer, the United States Sports Academy presented him with the Distinguished Service Award. Annually, they have award this award to individuals who've made outstanding contributions to national or international sports through education, research, and service. In 2006, the Lebanon City Council honored Coach Statham by renaming the roadway on McKendree campus Harry Statham Way. The university's gymnasium, the Harry M. Statham Sports Center, is also named for him. So many people, though, are going to talk about important adjectives in coaching, right? We hear all the time about class, integrity, character, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, for 52 years at McKendree, Coach Statham has shown us through his actions and his words, he's modeled these values. For our student athletes and all those around us, he has been the standard, he has been the model. Beyond the wins, the records, the accolades, he shows all of us what it looks like to use the power of the coaching platform to impact the lives of others. In 2018, as such, we announced the creation of the Harry Statham Coach of Impact Award. We awarded that first one in 2019. The purpose of the Harry Statham Coach of Impact Award is to honor a coach that has used the power of the coaching platform to make a positive impact on players, coaches, and others. The coach will be a person of high character and integrity who has served an excellent role model and has deeply impacted the lives of others. This annual award, in honor of Coach Statham, the coach must have coached at the small college level for the majority of his career, must have had a high degree of personal character and integrity, and the coach will be a current or former coach, but will honor a living member on an annual basis. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd appreciate if you please welcome Coach Harry Statham, the gentleman of college basketball.
Thanks, John. And thanks for giving my wife credit. She doesn't get enough from me, for sure. But she's behind it all and been great for all these years, and I'm what I am because of her. So thanks for saying that, and thanks to my wife. So to start here, thanks, John, for the introduction. And good evening, everyone. It's great to be back in Kansas City. And it's certainly an honor to be a part of this awards program. This is another wonderful weekend for small college basketball, and we honor these special award winners. John has done and continues to do a fantastic job with this organization. My college coaching career started in 1966, and I attended the NAIA tournament here in Kansas City, right here by Municipal. 32 teams in the same venue. What an experience. I did not miss a single game. It took me 22 years to get my team to Kansas City and compete in the NAIA National Tournament. I never missed a national tournament in Kansas City. John became the NAIA National Tournament Director. He did an amazing job. Things ran like clockwork. He was everywhere. I was really impressed. Our basketball and baseball teams were very successful in the NAIA district and national tournaments. Our football team was not. So the president decided to go to Division II. At that point, I lost track of John. A few years down the road, I saw where small college basketball has their first Hall of Fame class. And the director was John McCarthy. Got my attention. So I immediately checked it out and became a member of small college basketball. The rest is history. What a job he has done and is still doing. He started this Coach of Impact Award 6 years ago. And Dr. David Holmquist is our 5th recipient. The last few years have brought changes in our society, in our game, and I'm concerned about keeping our game great. We have some outstanding coaches who are doing a tremendous job. By honoring them with an award like this, it will help them understand how much we appreciate their jobs. These are challenging times, and the work of John and others is very important in keeping our game high. The 2024 Coach of Impact is Dr. David Holmquist of Biola University. He transferred from Cypress College to Biola. He was captain of the basketball team and graduated in 1974. After graduation from Biola, Coach Holmquist received 6 additional degrees from 4 universities, including a doctorate in PE from Southern California. He coached at Fresno Pacific University for 3 seasons and returned to Biola in 1978 as a basketball coach. He has coached 44 seasons. Has won 1,058 games. He was also the athletic director for 27 years. Biola was a member of the NAIA and the Golden State Conference until 2017. Coach Holmquist was the National Coach of the Year 2 times, the Conference Coach of the Year 8 times, and was inducted into the NAIA Hall of Fame in 2002. 32 of his players received NAIA All-American honors. 40 players received Golden State All-Conference honors, and 3 received Golden State Player of the Year awards. Coach Holmquist was the longest tenured coach in Golden State Conference. His team finished in the top 4 14 times. They were conference champs 2 times. Biola averaged 24 wins a year and made 21 trips to the national tournament. 81-82 was their most successful season, 39-1. Their only loss was in the NAIA tournament championship game. Coach was the NAIA Coach of the Year. The first Golden State title was 2001, 2002, and they were 29-5. And in 2015-16, they finished in the top 10 in the NAIA poll and were 30-4. They won the conference and the conference tournament. Coach was both the ABC Coach of the Year and the Golden State Coach of the Year. In 16-17, his final year in the NAIA, they were 26-6 and played in the NAIA National Tournament. They were the first team inducted into the Biola Athletic Hall of Fame in 2019. In 2018, they were NCAA Division II, and they joined the Pacific West Conference. In 1920, they went in overtime in the championship game of the Pac West. They were 19-12. In 21-22, they made it to the second round in the Pac West tournament, and they're 21-8. They're 1-11 and 77 total to 7 seasons in Division II. Every coach makes an impact on his players, the fans, and all who know him. It is positive or negative, and will range from strong to slight. Coaches need to be aware of how much they influence people and work very hard to maximize the positive feelings. This Coach of Impact Award goes to a coach who exemplifies high character, strong work ethic, and a quality leadership. Coach Holmquist has been and continues to be a tremendous example for our young coaches. The 2024 Coach of Impact Award goes to Dr. David Holmquist.
The winner of the 2024 Harry Statham Coach of Impact Award is Dr. Dave Holmquist from Biola University.
You know, it's better than $9.99, $1,000. Shout out to Coach Dave Holmquist at Biola, an NCAA Division II school here in Southern California, La Mirada. Dr. Holmquist with his 1,000th win when the Eagles beat Concordia Irvine Saturday. He began winning in the NAIA, been at Biola forever. He's an NAIA Hall of Famer. And do not play Jeopardy with this man. The coach has 5 master's degrees and a doctorate.
During his 47-year career as head coach, he currently has 1,058 wins and counting. He is one of just 6 four-year coaches in men's college basketball history to win 1,000 games. Coach Holmquist has led Biola to an NCCAA National Championship and has earned 2 NAIA National Coach of the Year awards, 8 Conference or District Coach of the Year awards, and was named to the NAIA Hall of Fame in 2002.
I have followed his stellar career as he has impacted many, many players to become great men as they live their lives. I am thrilled that my friend Dave Holmquist has been named the Harry Statham Coach of Impact with his incredible 1,058 victories and counting.
So thankful to have had the opportunity to play for Coach. He's impacted the husband, the father, the coach that I try to be every day. I'm so blessed for my time with Coach. Coach stood in my wedding, and he continues to be someone in my life that I look to for wisdom, someone that just continues to have an impact on me because of the man that he is. Coach, I love you, and I'm so thankful that you're a part of my life.
I'm so grateful for the way that you have impacted me, first as a student athlete when you were athletic director, and then when I was a head coach at Biola, and now as your athletic director. You have taught me so much about how to lead with humility and intentionality, and have had a profound impact on my both professional and personal life. And I can't imagine working here at Biola without your leadership and mentorship. You also have an amazing sense of humor, so I really appreciated just when, the whole way that you lead with such great wisdom and intentionality. So thank you so much, and congratulations this evening.
If there is an item I will cherish as my memories fade, is that your loyalty, Dave, was unwavering and well made. But one thing has been true in our moments together. You have been a dear friend, and I know it's forever. Yet to you the simple things are what matter most. Your faith, Father, Son, and yes, Holy Ghost.
I think the combination of skills that you have brought to the game of basketball is particularly unique and something that I have always appreciated about you. And I know all those who you have touched in your life appreciate these same wonderful qualities. Congratulations again.
You've had a great career as an athlete and an incredible run as a coach, and I'm grateful to have you as a friend. And I'm just so proud of all the things you've been able to accomplish throughout your career as a coach, and there's so many lives that have been impacted by the dedication that you've had to the sport itself. And so my hat's off to you, buddy. Thank you.
Dave, I just wanted to congratulate you on this incredible honor. It is only appropriate that I stop and recognize you as my coach, mentor, and friend. It was my privilege to show up at Biola as a freshman walk-on in your very first year as head coach at Biola. It was a good time, especially because it was a day when I had more hair than you did. I'm convinced to this day that you put me on the team because I had a sense of humor and not because of my underwhelming talent. But a couple of years later, under your coaching, I was in a starting role on some pretty remarkable teams. Dave, you are a phenomenal coach, as your record attests. Year after year, you have taken talented players, further developed them, and impressively molded them into winning teams. Your players came to you as boys and left as men. I am so blessed to have you in my life. I love you, brother. Congratulations.
Small College Basketball is proud to present Biola's coach Dave Holmquist with the 2024 Harry Statham Coach of Impact Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our stage the winner of the prestigious 2024 Harry Statham Coach of Impact Award, Biola coach Dave Holmquist.
Before Coach Holmquist speaks, I want to let you know I just did something backstage. I wanted to get in that picture because that picture, between the three of us, we have 2,227 wins, and I just want to let you know that. Okay, Coach.
Well, I too want to thank John. I remember when I first met him, I can't remember how many years ago, probably about 10 years ago, at the national tournament here in Kansas City, and I just thought he's got the energy and the oomph and the love of the game and the organizational skills to do a great job back here. And then when he started the small college organization, of course that's really proved to be true, and so I'm very thankful to him for this whole thing and what's transpired the last number of years. I also want to thank, of course, Coach Statham and his wife Rose. I just really got acquainted with them. I had talked to Harry briefly a couple times, but didn't know him well. We never played him at the tournament, but I saw his teams play, and of course I knew a lot about him, and we had some mutual friends. But eating lunch today and also talking last night, and what I've heard from people who know him well, not only his ability as a coach, which is obvious, but also the humility, the kindness, the doing everything for the right reason, the philosophy he has behind coaching. It's just been a great weekend for me to get to know he and Rose, and I'm real thankful to win this award, especially coming from a person like him. I'm hoping I can see my notes here. Okay. When I was a very young coach, it was about probably a couple years into my career, I read a very good book called The Road Less Traveled. It was by a man named Scott Peck, and Peck became a Christian during the time he was writing that book. But the gist of the book was really covered in the first paragraph, and he wrote something to the effect that life is difficult, but for those who understand that life is difficult, life becomes less difficult. And I read that over and over, and I've read it many times since then. I've thought a lot about what that means. I knew coaching would be difficult because I was 0-10 before I won a game. And I remember after the 10th loss, it was an hour and a half away from the school I was at in Fresno. I remember driving back in the van thinking, can I quit? And I thought, no, I got to make it through the year. And then I started thinking, well, I really need to stay here about 3 years. I can't just come and do it for 1 year. But coaching did not look good at all to me. I was sure we were going to lose the next 10 too at that time that night. Turned out we went 8-7 the rest of the year, and we had an 8-17 record. Now most people aren't happy with that, but I was thrilled with it because of how we started off. But after reading Peck's book, I began to think about how do you make life less difficult? And there are a number of ways. My faith is the most important thing in my life, and so that's the foundation. That gives me strength and hope. But I also began to think about the attitudes that a coach needs or a person needs in life, and I'm going to mention two. There are many more, but these two have been important to me. One is you really need to have some basic beliefs, and you need to be reminded of what those beliefs are continually. Wisdom comes through depth of knowledge, not breadth. We read good books, we hear sermons, we listen to speakers to be reminded of what we already know. We may gain an occasional new insight, but insights rarely change us. What changes us, sometimes ever so slowly, is the focus on and application of the truths that we already know. We have enough truth to live 10 lives. What's most needed is steady attention on our most basic beliefs. That is what leads to real conviction. When John Wooden was alive, my junior college coach was his first All-American, so he introduced me to Wooden when I was a young coach, and I used to go out and see him about 6 times a year for many years. And all of those times with him were meaningful, but there was one night that was especially so. For 3 hours, he took out a folder and he began to read to me. I didn't say a word. I knew who I was listening to, so I just listened. He read poems, aphorisms, quotations, proverbs, brief stories, and scripture. Mostly he read scripture verses, many of which he had memorized, and proverbs. As a basketball coach, he was known for his emphasis on fundamentals. He had the rare ability to get great players excited about the most basic aspects of the game. He lived his life the same way. He had boiled life down to the basic fundamentals, and then he constantly reminded himself of what he believed. At the start of a basketball game, a player believes strongly in the values of a team. Let's say his conviction level is 95%. But then he sprints up and down the floor 6 or 7 times, is having trouble catching his breath, and then he gets hit by an elbow. Now his conviction level might drop to 85 or even 80%. He still believes, but not as strongly. The same thing happens in life. We wake up each morning with all kinds of good intentions. But then, the distractions of life quickly intrude. And now we need to be reminded of what we know to be true. These reminders might come from a good friend, scripture you had memorized, a short prayer, or something else. But whatever it is, we can't flourish in life without consistent reminders of what we know to be true. The second attitude I think is real important is having an understanding of the value of small changes. Life will become less difficult if we understand that. Basketball is sometimes described as a game of inches. If the ball lands out of bounds by 6 feet or 1 inch, either way it's out. Life is also a game of inches. Those small, almost imperceptible changes you make add up to make you who you are. The truth about life is we never stay the same. We are always changing, little by little, inch by inch. About 25 years ago, I heard a speaker divide the world into 2 groups of people, those who return their shopping carts and those who don't. Wanting to be on the right team, I decided to return my cart every time for the rest of my life. Whether I was late or it was raining, I wasn't going to care. Now, this isn't a big achievement. After all, it only takes about 15 to 30 seconds to return a cart. But it is important because with each choice we make, we're either moving forward or backward. Each small commitment can lead to another commitment, which can lead to another. This inch-by-inch concept is a great spiritual truth. All truth is God's truth, and this is a truth that has always been around. Many people stay disciplined for a while, then grow frustrated when they don't improve fast enough. But there are no sudden improvements or great leaps forward. In the locker room of the San Antonio Spurs, there hangs a quotation. Quote, "When nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stonecutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet at the 101st blow, it will split in 2, and I know it was not that blow that did it, but all that had gone before." This little by little, inch by inch idea is the foundation of spiritual formation. It gives added meaning to everything we do and think because it all matters. There are no small choices or actions because they all move us in a direction. The wisest people that I have known really understood this concept. They approached life with the right kind of urgency because everything for them was charged with meaning. When everything we do or think, no matter how small, becomes an opportunity to grow our faith and character, all of life becomes more important. This is at least partly what St. Irenaeus meant when he said, quote, "The glory of God is the person fully alive," end of quote. And if we can coach that way and live the rest of life that way, we'll take 3 steps forward, 2 steps back a lot of times, but if we can remind ourselves of what we really know to be true, our lives and those we impact, it will go a lot better. Thank you.
I got to follow that, right? That was awesome. Thank you, Coach Holmquist. I am confident that I just got a lot smarter, and I'll need to watch that 2 or 3 more times back on video. That was fantastic. We're going to now jump into the Bevo Francis Award, and I want to tell you a little bit about the Bevo Francis Award and then bring up Athletic Director Jeff Lanham to talk about Bevo Francis himself. The Bevo Francis Award is presented annually to the players at the finest overall season within small college basketball. The considerations for this award are season statistics, individual achievements, awards, personal character, and team achievements. I do want to emphasize, as we've talked about this over the years, that team success is a big part of this as well, as it was something that was very important to Bevo himself. This is obviously a very prestigious award, as ultimately this is only given to one player out of roughly 13 to 16,000 players that play annually under the umbrella of small college basketball. The purpose of the Bevo Francis Award is twofold. Number one, to keep the story and the legacy of the great Bevo Francis alive and to continue to tell his story to the next generation. It's one of the great stories in the history of college basketball. And again, Jeff Lanham will talk to us a little bit about Bevo Francis and this wonderful story. But in addition to what you hear tonight, I encourage you to go online, go to YouTube, go to Google, and go to YouTube and look up the Bevo Francis story. It is absolutely remarkable, truly one of the great stories in the history of college basketball at any level. In addition, the second purpose is to recognize, honor, and bring great national attention to the great players within college basketball of today's game at the small college levels, and ultimately to honor one player on an annual basis. So since the beginning of this award in 2016, the University of Rio Grande has sponsored this award, and I've been tremendously grateful to Jeff Lanham, who has been the driving force behind this award. And I'd also like to thank Rio Grande President Ryan Smith, who's been fully supportive of this since his tenure as the president of the University of Rio Grande. To tell the Bevo Francis story, I'd like to bring up my longtime friend and the athletic director at the University of Rio Grande, Mr. Jeff Lanham.
Thank you, John, so much. And I too want to first say, isn't this great? This is a fantastic evening here, honoring everyone. It's just fantastic. And John is that person who has done this. I just appreciate his enthusiasm, his passion that he has about small college basketball and these awards that are out there. He is the right person to be able to do this. Also want to thank the committee with the Bevo Francis Award, made up of coaches all across the country that spend endless hours looking at tape and watching people play to come with that, start with that 100 nominees and then down to that one person. And we go into a lot of depth with this, and I was talking to Elijah about that earlier, about how important that is, and character is such a big part of that. So again, congratulations today to Elijah as well. I just wanted to give you a little, maybe a little background about Bevo and Rio Grande and how things have moved around. So it was 1952-53 when Bevo Francis and Coach Newt Oliver came to a small village in southeastern Ohio. That at that time we had 92 students. That was all we had. We were ready to shut our doors, ready to close down. And Coach Oliver actually said, let's hold off for a year. Let's see what's happening. Because he said, hey, I've got some plans for what's happening here. So he proceeds at that time, that 52-53 school year with Bevo to go 39-0. Goes undefeated. That could probably be considered one of the greatest years for college basketball. And just some notes of what Bevo did in that first year. He had 1,554 points in a year's time, averaged right at 50 points a game. So with that happening, I guess the popularity of Bevo was worldwide. And if we also know some history with this, in the early 50s, there was a gambling scandal that happened in college basketball. And during that time, really, the college basketball had a really black eye during that. The fans did not go to the games. There was just not much interest, kind of a very sour taste with what was going on. When Bevo came on, everybody then just got excited about college basketball. The idea of every day they would go to the newspaper and see how many did you score last night, and it just became a phenomenon of college basketball. And we hope that it continues to where it is today. And we want to say that we hope that he had a part of that. So we move on to the 53-54 season. With that popularity, we had a very, very small gym. Probably we couldn't seat 75 people in the gym at that time. And Coach Oliver decided we're playing all of our games on the road. We had no home games during that season. We ended up 21-7, played in places like Madison Square Garden, Boston Gardens. We played and beat teams. Powerhouse at that time was Wake Forest. We beat Princeton, Arizona State, Miami of Florida, Creighton, and many other Division I programs at that time. So with all of that, the popularity was crazy. I was talking just yesterday about the Municipal Auditorium when Rio Grande played there. I think the stadium holds 10,000. I think there were 17,000 people there to see them play in that 54 year. So they were just filling up stadiums. Well, Coach Oliver was involved in charge of guarantee money, percentage of the gate. With that money, he took back to Rio Grande, and that probably kept us afloat until we could go. And so I would even give them credit to a point where we're at now with 1,300 students and flourishing as a university and as an athletic department as well. So we have to give them credit to do that. So just some other facts about what Bevo did the second year. So playing a little higher caliber teams. He only averaged 47 the second year he was there. Only scored 1,319 points in that year after being double teamed and triple teamed all throughout the year. So think about it like this. For 2 years, that's all the time he was at Rio was for 2 years, he scored 3,273 points in 2 years, averaged just over 48 points a game as an individual. Now this was a guy who was 6'9", didn't play inside. He shot jumpers from the deep corner, jumpers from the top of the key. Of course, there was no three-point line at that time, and there was no one-on-one. So I was just telling earlier, people fouled him when he came across half court, so he'd only give up 1 point instead of 2. The game where he scored 113, he shot 45 free throws and made 37 of those free throws. So it's just phenomenal to think about that. The other little fact about that with, I'll get my numbers right, with 10 minutes to play, Coach Oliver calls timeout in a small little gym in Jackson, Ohio. The gym is still there. Bevo had 74 points, right, with 10 minutes to play. Well, he proceeds in those 10 minutes to score 39 points in 10 minutes to get the record for, if my math is correct, 113. That was a record for 58 years that was involved. Bevo always said it won't last because of the three-point line, and that is what ended up getting him was to break that record. So with that being said, I think we can, we kind of went to the point of saying the Bevo Francis Award is considered to be the best player in small college basketball for that year. And we kind of look back at the idea that Bevo had that he was that person, and that for those years that he was at Rio Grande was considered to be one of the best. So, the Bevo Francis Award is just a phenomenal thing. We're so proud of that. We hold a tournament, Bevo Francis basketball tournament. This has been 42 straight years that we've held this tournament. And the first 32 years, Bevo came and talked every year before he passed away. And he never, ever talked about his accomplishments. He always talked about his teammates. He said, I could have never done anything out on the floor without my teammates. And I just saying that to our Casey, to our Elijah too, just remember that. Go thank your teammates, because that's so important. And if teammates for all of us, we have teammates in everything that we do, and they help us. And so if nothing else, take that away tonight to help. Go thank teammates on Monday with you. So with that, I'm going to say congratulations again to Elijah, and good luck to him in the future. And I appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our stage the coach of tonight's award winner, the head coach at Grace University, Coach Scott Moore.
Thank you, John. This is what an awesome honor. I could spend all day and talk about Elijah, and you're going to see a video, I'm sure, of you go on social media in 5 minutes, you can see what type of a player he was. But instead, I'm going to tell a story and how I ended up getting to coach him. I played for a man named Jim Kessler. Some of you may know Coach K was at Grace for 44 years. And when I took over for him, I'll never forget what he told me. He said, some of your best recruits are going to be the guys that you get either really early or really late. And sometimes it's a God thing. And then I remember him he called me back later and he said, hey, when I said sometimes it's a God thing, I mean all the time it's a God thing. I was recruiting a post player 4 years ago, and we went through the season, his senior year, spending a lot of time with him, to the point where I came back to my staff and said, hey guys, we got this kid. It's a done deal. And I get a phone call from this kid, and he decided to not go to Grace, but go to a rival school in our conference. And at that time, I went to my assistant and said, fellas, we got to figure something out. We got to find another big kid. I get a phone call from another gentleman and said, hey, there's a kid you may want to check out, a big kid, 6'10", from Prairie Heights, Indiana. And there's only a couple of you who know Prairie Heights, Indiana. And I said, that's Amish Town. That's horse and buggy town. There's a 6'10" kid in Amish Town. So I grab my assistant and we go up the way. And I walk into this gym, and basketball in Indiana, Coach Miller kind of talked about it. It's packed. There's not a seat in the house. And I had to stand underneath the basket against the wall 3 feet from the out of bounds. And here comes this kid walking out, and I'm like, who is this kid? He's a senior. We spent 10 minutes talking after the game, and I remember that right after that, look, this kid needs to be at Grace. He's everything that we could ever hope for. We had a big kid at the time who was a senior. I said, this is going to be perfect. Let the freshman come in, learn his way. Hopefully by Christmas time, he can figure it out and start to take some time. Elijah gets to campus, and in about 2.5 weeks, we decided that senior's got no chance of playing. This kid's going to come in and take all of his minutes, and that's exactly what happened. Again, I can talk about the player, but you see a picture up there. Coach Brooks talked about it. It's always about the kids, and it's always about the players. And one of my favorite things about this young man, he was exceptional from day one. And Coach talked about it. In today's landscape, kids move all the time. He could have left every year of college to go somewhere else, higher level. And he stayed, and he stayed, and he stayed. And what had come about it was this. This is a picture of an elementary game that we had. And I've never had a kid who embodied what being a superstar is all about. He would spend time, endless amount of time with children, making sure that they knew he had time for them. I walked through the grocery store 2 weeks ago, and I'm going down the aisle, and I see a white t-shirt with a number 50 on the back that said Malone, a 12-year-old kid. I stopped him and said, hey, let me take a picture with you. You don't understand the impact, and that's what I told him. The impact you have on the college will go a long way. We won a lot of games because of you, but the lives that you've changed, including mine, will last for a long, long time. He has an opportunity now to use his fifth year, and he's going to announce that on Monday. He gets to go play at a Power 5 school. I will say this, I have a twin brother, and he reminds me here every day that, hey, are we sure that you're actually good at your job? You have a Power 5 kid and you didn't win the national championship. I said, way to stay humble, I guess. But I'm so proud to be his coach. I could do this for a long time, and I'm pretty sure I'm never going to have a guy like Elijah Malone, and not just a basketball player, but a human being. It's an honor. John, when you called me to tell me that he won the award, I was sitting in my truck and just moved to tears. And like these coaches know, these kids, these young men become your kids. And I will forever be grateful for him and his family for the rest of my life. Thank you.
That was awesome. So while the video we're going to play about Elijah in just a moment, we'll tell you about his statistics, his awards from this past season. I want to emphasize the team success and personal character of this award. They're really big components. We take that very seriously. We tend to learn a whole lot about the finalists for our awards before they even become a finalist. We have committee members do a great amount of research. I've learned a lot about players over the course of the years that I know a lot about people. And I will tell you that we've watched you, Elijah, besides what you've done on the court, we've learned a lot about you as well. But a couple things I want to bring up for the folks here and the folks that will be watching this later is from a team success standpoint, Grace started the season with the longest win streak at any level of college basketball this year, winning their first 24 consecutive games for the season. That was more consecutive wins than anybody in Division I, II, III, NAI in the country. They ended up going on to win the Crossroads League regular season, Crossroads League tournament, winning their NAI regional, making it all the way to the Fab Four, and finishing the season with a 34-2 overall records. Elijah was, of course, the Crossroads League Player of the Year, became the NAI National Player of the Year, and the NCCA Division I National Player of the Year. But in addition to that, the reason you're here tonight is the combination of what you did on the court as a team success, individual success. But I can tell you that I personally watched you on the bench, waving towels. I think you were more excited for your teammates' success than your own success. I watched when the guys came off the court with you giving high five and hugging your teammates. I watched when teammates hit threes and had dunks with you jumping up off the bench to congratulate them. And I just want to remind everybody that this award is really special. It's really special because not only is it we're talking about a great player, we're talking about a great person with great human character that comes from a team with great success. So I'd appreciate it if you would turn your attention to the video screen as we announce, as we've already announced before, but now in person, the winner of the 2024 Bevo Francis Award. Congratulations to Elijah Malone. On behalf of the University of Rio Grande, Small College Basketball is proud to announce the winner of the 2024 Bevo Francis Award, Elijah Malone from Grace College in Indiana. Elijah Malone led Grace to a remarkable 34-2 season, winning the regular season and tournament titles in the Crossroads League. In the NAI tournament, the Lancers won the regional tournament and reached the NAI national semifinals. For the season, Malone averaged 17.3 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game, while shooting a remarkable 63% from the field. Malone was named the Crossroads League Player of the Year, while being named to the NAI tournament team and then being named the NCCAA Division I National Player of the Year and the NAI National Player of the Year. Congratulations to Elijah Malone, the 2024 Bevo Francis Award winner.
And now let's welcome to our stage the winner of the 2024 Bevo Francis Award, Elijah Malone.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. 4 years ago, I made a decision. At the time, I thought it was just a decision on where I was going to play basketball. What I didn't realize is it was a decision that would change and impact my life forever. At Grace, basketball became a platform. Winning games was fun, but impacting others while doing so was much greater. I was fortunate to play in nearly 140 games in my college career, but the truth is, I can't tell you much that I remember about any of them. What I do remember is the locker room. I remember the trips that we took, whether it was to Oregon, Orlando, Phoenix, or France. I remember the packed games to watch us play. I remember the summer basketball camps and all the hours of work we put in to get better. I remember the highs and the lows, the laughter and the tears. This game has taken me to a place I never knew I could go. Next year, I have an opportunity to use my COVID year to play at another school and continue on to reach my dreams of playing professionally. First of all, I'd like to thank God for all the amazing opportunities He's put into my life. I'd like to thank my mom and my family for the unconditional love and support. Thank you to my coaches and my teammates at Grace for providing me with such an amazing environment to grow not only as a player, but as a man. Thank you to the students at Grace for providing such an amazing community. Thank you to the fans at Grace for being the best in the country and for making the games at Grace such a special experience. Thank you so much to John McCarthy and the Small College Basketball Committee for the great honor of being the 2024 Bevo Francis Award winner. This is a great honor. This is a great honor that me and the Grace Lancers basketball team will remember forever. Thank you and God bless.
All righty, so at the beginning of this season down in Lakeland, Florida, during the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, it was such a pleasure to be able to announce the creation of a new national award under the umbrella of small college basketball, where we announced the creation of the Trevor Hudgens Award. And this award is presented annually to the senior who had the finest overall career within all of small college basketball. It's a career award. Considerations are overall career statistics, achievements, team achievements, awards, and personal character. The player must have played their entire career at the small college level, and this is the highest career award given to a player under the umbrella of small college basketball. The intent of the Trevor Hudgens Award is twofold. One, to keep the legacy of the collegiate career of the great Trevor Hudgens alive and to continue to tell his story to the next generation. Secondly, is to provide a national platform to honor outstanding players, ultimately one player, within small college basketball for their outstanding career. The Trevor Hudgens Award is sponsored by Northwest Missouri State University, the Northwest Missouri State Alumni Association, the Scribner Family Foundation, the Windmill Benefits, and the Kansas State Credit Union. We're pleased this evening to have with us the great Vinny Vaccaro from Northwest Missouri State, who's the original Bearcat of Northwest Missouri State and has been the driving force with the Alumni Association. And importantly, we also have Ken and Jeanette Scribner with us, and we are so grateful for the tremendous support of the Trevor Hudgens Award. So let me tell you just a moment about Trevor Hudgens and who he is. Trevor Hudgens, during his collegiate career, led Northwest Missouri State to 3 consecutive NCAA Division II national championships, which is the first time in Division II basketball that has ever been accomplished. During his career, he played in and started every single game, never missing a game of his career. He also never lost an NCAA tournament game, leading the Bearcats to a remarkable 17-0 record during his career in the NCAA tournament. The only time during his career they did not win the NCAA tournament is when it was canceled due to COVID. And at that point, they were number 1 in the country with only 1 loss for the entire season. Never lost an NCAA tournament game. During his career, he led his team to 4 straight MIAA regular season championships and finished his career with an astounding record. Think about this. They played 139 games in his career against a very good MIAA schedule, a very good out-of-conference schedule, and they won 131 of those 139 games. Hudgens was named the NCAA Division II Player of the Year in both 2021 and 2022. He holds the Northwest Missouri State scoring record and the Northwest Missouri State assist record, finishing his career with 2,829 points, which ranks first all-time not only at the school, but in the 110-year history of the MIAA, and he's second all-time in history of Division II basketball in the country. His 168 threes in a single season his senior year set the all-time record in the history of Division II basketball. He was named the MIAA Player of the Year for 3 consecutive seasons and was named the 2022 Bevo Francis Award winner. Tonight, we're so honored to present the first ever Trevor Hudgens Award to Emmanuel's KJ Jones. And to talk about KJ is here with us this evening is Emmanuel head coach TJ Rosene. Take it away, TJ. All right, showtime. Here we go.
I also want to say thank you to John and all the people that make this possible. You know, lifting up other people is just such a wonderful thing to do, and it's a lot of people that get lifted up tonight, and it's made possible by a lot of people in this room. Much gratitude for that. To the Trevor Hudgens and his family, what a pleasure it was to meet you guys. You can see why he's such a special young man. We had the opportunity, John called us in the summer and said, hey, I've got an opportunity for you to play against Northwest. And I said, yeah, we're coming. And then later on he tells me we're going to up to South Dakota, and I'm thinking, how are we going to get there and how are we going to pay for this? But we went there anyway, and we found a way to go out there. And I wanted to go play them for this reason. I have been watching probably more than any other team, Northwest, because they've set the standard of what it's like to be a championship team. And I don't know if I've watched any player more than I've watched Trevor, because he was the standard of what it looked like. And to have an award while he's in the prime of his career named after him is an amazing thing, right? Most of us are old when that happens, but he's in the prime of his career. And it was such a pleasure to watch him set the standard of what it meant to lead a team, to lead them to championships, both on and off the court. And so it's an honor for KJ to get this award after such an unbelievable player. So thank you to Northwest Missouri, and thank you to the Hudgens family for letting us get the opportunity to meet you while we're here. You know, just a side note, you know, we talk about the game of basketball and the troubles and maybe the issues and the problems that are going on, but I don't know about you, listening to all these coaches and to these young men who are getting awards tonight, I'm really encouraged about the game of basketball when I see these types of people being the ones that are influencing and impacting the people. And the young men that got these awards tonight are both extremely special young men that set the standard and who are leading other people. And one of those that's I've had the chance to lead, but has also led me. This is actually one of the hardest days of the year for me. This was 6 years ago today. My dad passed. He was a high school coach for many years, and I miss him dearly because he set the standard on how to be an example as a transformational coach. And so while this day is usually difficult, it was actually a wonderful day for me. I got to wake up in this hotel, and this hotel has a lot of memories. We actually spent 8 days here, and it's one of the last experiences I had with my dad as we went into the NAIA National Tournament. My wife was also 8 months pregnant and passed out and got taken away in an ambulance in the lobby down there too. I also got to meet Don Meyer over breakfast, who then took on the opportunity to mentor me in my coaching career. So we also lived here for 8 days during that tournament, and I woke up to my own room, and I'm pretty sure back then we had my family, my brother's family, my aunt, my uncle. There's probably 12 to 14 people in our room for those 8 days. And so I had my own room, which is another blessing to be able to be here and do that. But I'm here to tell you about KJ, and this usually is a difficult day, but it's really a special day because I love KJ like a son. He's made it extremely easy to love him like a son, and the way that he showed up each and every day. And when I think about KJ, it's really simple. I think about uncommon, and everything that he has done has been uncommon. When he showed up to Emmanuel, we're a small 800 student in the middle of Georgia, in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, and he had no scholarship offers, and he chose to come to Emmanuel. Much like Coach Moore is telling you, it was a God thing, and I fully believe that it was, that he was meant to be there. And I always say that with all our recruits, that we can't out-recruit the Lord, and we just want the right people to be here, and KJ was that right person to be there. And over the years, he was uncommon in everything he did. What he chose to do on Friday and Saturday night, how he chose to work in the summer, how he chose to lead with his faith, how he chose to care about his teammates. Never saw a player text his teammates more than KJ, how are you doing? He was uncommon. On my first season with him, on my birthday, he gave me a card and a gift card to go get something to eat with that. And every year after, he gave me a birthday card. And not many players do that this day and time, that he cared enough to reach out to his coach like that. And I've watched him over these years just time after time choose the uncommon path in all of his decisions. He was also not only two-time scoring leader at Division II and National Player of the Year this year, he was also the Elite 23 winner, which is the highest academic honor that we give to anybody in our conference. And he was that multiple times, as well as Conference Player of the Year 3 times. So he has all the awards, but beyond that, he's remained so humble. He's been uncommon in his choices, including this last year, which he had the opportunity to go use his COVID year and decided to stay because he wanted to make an uncommon decision to write his own story. And I told him to go. You know, you have that opportunity, you have that right. Much like Elijah, you've given everything to your school, you know, and you have another opportunity. And I would have been just as happy if KJ chose to make that decision, but was excited to coach him for another year. And he came back and wanted to write his story, and his story continues to be a great one that he's just had NBA team after NBA team lined up for workouts to come. But what I know any team that gets him is going to get is they're going to get a better person on the inside that he is even as a player. It's been an honor to coach him. I think of him like a son. It was special to get up and work out with you today. It was special to get up and go to the Small College Hall of Fame, but to the college basketball experience. It's special to eat every meal with him, and I'm going to miss him dearly because I love him like a son. And KJ, I couldn't be more proud, and you've earned this by making uncommon decisions, and congratulations, my man.
So the following video, you're going to see and hear about KJ's statistics and awards and so on, and see his talents. But I've known Coach T.J. Rosene for a long time now, probably over a decade. And from the time that KJ arrived on campus, he's told me that we've got a special one. But what he meant in our discussions was he's special on the court and he's special off the court. So since he told me this early on, I started watching early and watching often. In addition to what you're going to see on the video, as obviously a very gifted and talented basketball player, please understand, as TJ mentioned, he was the academic athlete, the highest grade point average, not only on the team, but in the entire conference as well. He's led the country in scoring in back-to-back seasons in Division II basketball and finished his career, get this, with 3,111 points. But what's hard to quantify, as I've talked to TJ over and over, and many people that have known KJ over the years, is his kindness and his humility. From the time that this award was created at the beginning of this year, KJ Jones was the type of player that we had in mind to begin with. I'll let the video tell the story, but I would encourage you, in addition to what you see and hear tonight, Conference Carolina has made a documentary on KJ Jones. I'd encourage you to look it up. It's pretty special, talking about his family and so many people that have surrounded him. He is truly humble and kind, and it is an incredible pleasure to present the inaugural, the first ever Trevor Hudgens Award to KJ Jones. Please turn your attention to the video board to see and hear about KJ Jones. On behalf of Northwest Missouri State University, the Northwest Missouri State Alumni Association, and the Scribner Family Foundation, Small College Basketball is proud to announce the inaugural winner of the Trevor Hudgens Award is KJ Jones from Emmanuel University. In his career, KJ Jones led Emmanuel to a record of 103-43, reaching the NCAA Division II tournament 3 times. Jones finished his career with an astonishing 3,111 points to go along with 788 rebounds, 466 assists, and 227 steals. He shot 47.8% from the field for his career, making a remarkable 1,175 free throws while shooting 87% from the free throw line for his career. For the last 2 seasons of his career, Jones led all of NCAA Division II in scoring with 26.2 points per game each year. He was named as the Conference Carolinas Player of the Year for 4 consecutive seasons, was named NABC All-American for 3 years, and was named as NCAA Division II National Player of the Year in 2024 by both the D2 CCA and the NABC. Congratulations to Emmanuel's KJ Jones for being named the inaugural Trevor Hudgens Award winner. Congratulations, KJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, basketball enthusiasts, please welcome to our stage the winner of the first ever, the inaugural Trevor Hudgens Award, KJ Jones.
Thank you for that introduction, and thank you, Coach, for that introduction as well. I just want to thank God first, just for putting me in this position to be here today. It's really special to receive any award, but to be the inaugural winner of this award is really special. I just thank God for the talent, the skill He's blessed me with, the discipline, and the perseverance He's given me as a person and as a player. And without Him, I am nothing. I want to thank Mr. John McCarthy as well, just for highlighting all realms of small college basketball and ensuring we have a platform to be visible and to be heard, and ultimately providing us with national exposure for small schools, and not just D2, but the hard work that goes into that is really special. So I thank him for his contributions and highlighting myself and making me known around the nation through his tweets. I feel like when I refresh my Twitter sometimes, it's like getting a notification from Bleacher Report, seeing him at the top of my feed. So I appreciate everything that you do. I wanted to thank my family who can't be here tonight, specifically my parents, my siblings, my grandparents, and the extended family for their unconditional love and support always. It's tough as a student athlete throughout seasons and throughout a career, and they're always the people who have my back no matter what. I want to thank my teammates, who also aren't here tonight, but just throughout my entire career, I've been blessed with really special teammates, just for keeping me grounded and always keeping me uplifted and challenging me when they needed more from me, and just being guys I could be myself around, and again, guys that love me unconditionally. Those are guys you go back to the dorm room with and make the most memories with. They see you at your highest and your lowest points during the season and throughout your career, so I'm extremely thankful for my teammates that I've had throughout my career. I want to thank my coaches, all the coaches that I've had throughout my career at Emmanuel, my assistants, my student assistants, the volunteer assistants, everybody who's impacted my life as a person and as a player. I wanted to make sure I shouted them out. And I have a special, thank you to my head coach, TJ Rosine, who just spoke, who's a very special person to me. He embraced me when I first got on campus. He coached me hard from the very beginning. He pushed me hard. He called me out when I wasn't getting the job done. He challenged me to be an intentional and a vocal leader at a very early point in my career. He loved on me and he sang my praises when the time was appropriate. And he ultimately brought the best out of me as a person and as a player. And I'm super thankful for him. And a lot of people ask me, why I didn't transfer and leave to go to another situation. And one of the main reasons is very simple. There's nobody else in the country I wanted to play for. And I sincerely hope that every athlete that plays any sport has the opportunity to play for someone who is as loving and caring as my head coach was for me. So, Coach, I love you and appreciate you for everything you've done for me. My next thank you is to the Trevor Hudgens family and his support system from Northwest Missouri. I was told his girlfriend is here and a few sponsors. I appreciate you guys for coming and supporting as well. I had a great conversation with his parents last night. They were just sharing advice with me on my journey and the next steps that I'm taking going into my pro career. So I appreciate them taking the time to share those things with me. Extremely nice people, and I'm so thankful that you guys have raised Trevor the way that you have to be the young man and the young player that he is, and an example for so many people to follow, not just basketball players. And that leads me into my next, last but certainly not least, thank you to Mr. Trevor Hudgens himself, who isn't here tonight, but he's living the dream and doing something I hope to be doing this time next year, playing professional basketball. So I just want to thank him for his body of work that he displayed and for the foundation he set for guys like myself to come behind him and just strive for greatness where he was recruited to, for staying humble, disciplined, and just being an example of what every kid dreams of being when they get to the collegiate level, which is essentially a winner and a champion in every aspect of the word. And what he's done in his career has been admirable to many, including myself, and I would literally not be standing here today if it weren't for him and the work and time that he put into his craft to make him an all-time great and a Division II legend. And just to name off a few things, I mean, yeah, not losing an NCAA tournament game, 3 national championships, a 94% winning percentage, that's really special. And the list goes on and on. I could be here all night talking about his accolades, but that's just amazing and something that will probably never be done again. So again, I just thank him for his impact. And I've also been in contact with him recently, and as I start my pro journey, and he's been giving me a lot of advice and helping me with, you know, how to prepare for workouts and for interviews. And I'm just extremely grateful to have that connection with him now forever. And hopefully, I mean, maybe we'll play together one day. That would be really cool. Lastly, this part will be a little weird for me because I don't really like talking about myself, but I am extremely thankful and grateful for the career that I've had. Like my coach said, I had one scholarship offer out of high school, and it was from Emmanuel, and that's where I stayed for my entire career. And I truly couldn't have done the things that I did as an individual without the people around me. Being a 3,000-point scorer, a 3-time All-American, a 3-time Player of the Year, and receiving multiple academic awards. You don't do that throughout a career without a supportive village around you. And I'm extremely humbled to be the first person to receive this amazing award. And I just want to finish with a short message, primarily for players, but I think coaches can, you know, also take something away from it, or if nothing else, something you might want to show your players for next season. And I titled it Your Career. And so I said, your career is not defined by a game, a stat, an accolade, or even a championship. Your career will be whatever you want it to be. Your career is essentially what you make it. Your career is defined by the work, a high level of discipline, and an unwavering amount of humility. At least mine was. Your career is defined by how great of a teammate you are, how coachable of a player you are, and the effort that you give on a day-to-day basis. Your career is based on these things because that is what people will remember you by, how you make them feel. Your career will not be perfect. You will make mistakes, face adversity, and fall down a few times. What matters is how many times you get back up and keep pushing. This is not just applying basketball, but in life. I know the transfer portal is extremely popular in today's time. And don't get me wrong, I do think there are times and places where someone may need to explore other options for their future. However, I am also a firm believer that the grass is greener where you water it. Your career is not defined by the name of the university you attend, but by what you do at the university you are at. Again, at least for my career, that was the case. I say all of this to say, worry and care about the things that matter. Your career is not defined by other people's thoughts and opinions. Stay down, work hard, be a great teammate. Understand that some days will be harder than others, but never fold. Make sure your work ethic matches your dreams. And even with all of this, you might not achieve exactly what you want, but you will give yourself the best shot and will also be better prepared for things that life will throw at you down the line. Ultimately, it is up to you what legacy you leave and what you make of your career. Thank you and God bless.
Wow, that was awesome. Each year, the Small College Basketball Association presents the Lifetime Achievement Award to an individual who has demonstrated continuous commitment to small college basketball, including measurable, lasting, and sustained leadership and service, as well as an impact on the game over a career or a lifetime. The Lifetime Achievement Award is presented each year at the Small College Basketball National Awards Show. I sincerely thank all the members of the Small College Basketball Association that have joined our membership since we've gotten started. Along with our sponsors, the Small College Basketball Association helps to support special nights like tonight. Obviously, I encourage each of you to join the Small College Basketball Association to help support events like this, our Hall of Fame induction, our Hall of Fame Classic, Champions Classic, etc. I want to just give a nod and an incredible thank you to those that not only have joined our association, but have joined as lifetime members of the Small College Basketball Association. I'm going to quickly read those names to acknowledge those people, but I also, for those that have been around the game for a while, will realize this also reads like the who's who of college basketball that are part of our our lifetime members of the Small College Basketball Association. Those are Harry Statham, Jim Poteet, Larry Holly, Jim Nelson, Bill Odell, Roy Pickerel, George Tinsley, a guy named Jack Sikma, Del Harris, Larry Smith, John Rinka, John Hudson, Jeff Lanham, Greg McAleenan, Danny Miles, Herb McGee, Dave Robbins, Elmore Smith, John Pierce, Abe Gotiner, Sundance Wicks, Ryan Cottingham, Greg Tonigal, Steve Ritter, Kelly Wells, Craig Doty, Matt Lewis, Matt O'Brien, Todd Eisner, Mike Schauer, Chris Corver, Kenny Davis, Bob Hoffman, Bart Lundy, Joe Nyland, Chris McCabe, Jeff Wilson, Gary Bands, Kim Elders, and Jeremy Brown. I want to sincerely thank all those that are lifetime members of the Small College Basketball Association. This year's recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award is Jim Poteet. I'll have a few comments on Coach Poteet in a few moments, but first I'd like to bring up a couple people to talk about Jim Poteet. And those two people are the original Lifetime Achievement Award winner, our inaugural, Mr. John Hudson, who also happens to be the longest tenured commissioner, 38 years, in the history of collegiate athletics, as well as bringing up Lauren Gresham, who is the longtime president at Southern Nazarene University. So let's bring up Lauren Gresham and Mr. John Hudson. Take it away.
I'm going to start this off for Lauren and myself. I want to say that we're both proud and honored to be here to introduce Jim Poteet for this prestigious award. I actually feel like it's a little bit of deja vu for me to be introducing Jim, because a few years ago, got to tell a John McCarthy story. He called me and he said, "Hey, I'd like for you to come to Kansas City. We're going to have a presentation the first time we're going to do small college basketball, and we'd like for you to come up and be part of it." And I said, "Okay, I'll check my schedule and maybe I can make it or maybe I can't." Well, he said, "Well, I really need you to come." And I said, I'll do my best." Well, a few days later he called me and he said, "We really need you to come, and if you'll keep it to yourself and not let anybody know what's going on, I need you to introduce a guy that you know really well for an award we're going to give him." I said, "Okay, any idea who it might be so I can get ready?" He said, "Well, you probably know it's Jim." Okay, fair enough. So they got me up here. McCarthy tricked me, Poteet tricked me. I'm sitting there waiting to get up and introduce Jim, and all of a sudden Jim introduces me. So, like I said, this is kind of deja vu for me. I got to say this about Jim Poteet. I've known him for more than 50 years. He is a great ambassador for the game of basketball, and for small college basketball in particular. But what Jim is good at is he takes young coaches under their wings and under his wing and helps them and gets them going again in Oklahoma, where we were from and where he came to coach. I got to say this, when Jim came to Oklahoma, it was kind of when he came to Bethany Nazarene, it's a long time ago, more than 50 years ago, Oklahoma coaches were pretty much it was an old school deal. Most of the guys had been there for a long time. They did things a certain way, and they really didn't like having young guys come in and take over and try to act like they knew what they were doing. So Jim came in, and he was the first time somebody had come in young and aggressive and got after it and went out and said, "We want to play you guys, even though you're veteran coaches and veteran teams, and then go out and try to beat them and then beat them." So anyway, Jim made his mark pretty early on. When I started coaching, Jim took me under his wing and gave me some opportunities and some guidance and advice that helped me get through my short coaching career. But anyway, Jim also, one thing that you might not know about Jim Poteet, and I'm just going to throw this out there, McCarthy's given me credit for being a conference commissioner for a long time, but Jim Poteet was actually the founder of the Sooner Athletic Conference in Oklahoma. And the schools there belong to a league called the Texoma, which was half Texas and half Oklahoma schools. And Jim called me one day and he said, hey, we need to get a new constitution written for a league. He said, you're a lawyer, well, you can do that. And I said, well, I might be able to do it if you'll give me something to copy off of or plagiarize from. Anyway, we met and all of a sudden, we've got a league. They accepted whatever I put together. And I got to tell you about the league that Jim Poteet started, because he gets the credit for having the idea to do it in the first place. He was the leader of these guys back in those days. But that league has since won more national championships, not just in men and women's basketball, but across the board in sports than any other league in the NAIA, in the history of NAIA basketball. So it's pretty impressive what Jim Poteet did from that standpoint. Now, what I'm going to do right now is turn the introduction over to a guy who played basketball with Jim, so he's known him longer than I have, and he also coached with Jim. Then he later became a head coach, and I got to tell you, he's one of my good friends for many, many years. And he won the national NAIA championship in men's basketball in 1981, right here in Kansas City, Oklahoma, Kansas City, Missouri. Lauren Gresham, take it over, Lauren.
Thanks, John. I'll make mine short and quick. I met Jim Poteet when we were 18 years old. From there, we played on the same college team in California. Later, I was off out of the country. He sent me a message and said, I'm going to coach in Oklahoma. Would you be my assistant? So I became his assistant. So I saw him from several different perspectives. I watched him start 2 programs pretty much from a basic scratch level and take them to a really high level. Later on, I watched him move from step to step, place to place, wherever he was a basketball coach. I wasn't a real coach. I tried to coach a little bit, but Jim's a real coach. But he also is a real student of the game. And some of the best work I think he's done is in the last 10 years in writing the history of several programs with incredible records. And he's done that by researching clear back to the beginning of basketball at the YMCA Training Institute in Massachusetts. If you want to read something very interesting about our game, get one of his books, go back and find out the real story of how basketball was started. I don't know the committee. I don't know who chose Jim for the Lifetime Achievement Award. I can't think of anybody who is a better advocate for, a salesman for small college basketball than Jim Poteet.
I purposely didn't put any notes here. I just wanted to speak from the heart for just a moment. I got introduced to Jim Poteet from his son Josh, who is here. I had the opportunity to serve as the director of the NAIA National Basketball Championship when I moved to Kansas City in 2007. By the time we got to 2012, it was the 75th anniversary of the NAIA tournament, and we were celebrating in many different ways, choosing an all-time team, choosing the top 75 moments, and so on. And Josh Poteet, his son, was working with me in that endeavor to help celebrate the anniversary. And after we chatted for a long time about the history of the game, the history of the tournament, Josh kind of stopped me one day and he said, "You do know my dad, right?" And I said, "I don't know your dad." He said, "You should know my dad." And for the last decade plus, used to say, we used to talk each week, but that's not accurate. It's closer to like every other day that Coach Poteet and I talk. He's 83 now, and I knew when I called him to tell him about becoming the winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award, I knew what this would mean to him. And I know what it means to other people to celebrate. I know I talked to Coach Holmquist, who lives in California, and before we even talked about him being named the Harry Statham Coach of Impact Award, he said, "I'm going to plan to be there for Coach Poteet." And Jim Bond, who we talked about earlier, just drove from Colorado because he wanted to be here. There's multiple university presidents that are here to be here to honor Jim Poteet because they know what he means to our game. The accolades you'll see on the video we're about to play speak for themselves, but the impact on people and on this game, we're not able to capture in a video. This means a lot to him, and I told my wife this is going to be a really special moment for me to be able to introduce Jim Poteet, because this has been his life's work. And at 83 years old, to give him the Lifetime Achievement Award, it's obvious that he's earned it and he's deserved it. But I know what this means to him, his family, and so many people. So please take a moment and enjoy the video. There's a lot of wonderful messages from a lot of wonderful people, but this is a really special moment for a lot of people. Please turn to the video. Thank you. The winner of the 2024 Small College Basketball Lifetime Achievement Award is Dr. Jim Poteet. Coach Poteet has been the head coach at Biola, Bethany Nazarene, Seattle Pacific, and Kansas Christian College. He's won the NCCAA National Championship in 1974 and 1977 and was named as the National Coach of the Year in 1974 and 1975. In addition to his collegiate coaching career, Coach Poteet has been a significant figure in international basketball. He's helped develop the NAIA's Champions of Character program, served as the commissioner of the Association of Christian College Athletics, written multiple books on college basketball, and has become one of the world's foremost experts on free throw shooting. In his accomplished career, he's earned over 300 gold medals and has also made 489 consecutive free throws. Poteet was named to the NAIA Hall of Fame in 2014 and was named a Distinguished Alumni Award recipient from Point Loma Nazarene in 2024. From the Church of the Nazarene, Poteet was awarded the Distinguished Service Award in 2013. He was named to the Point Loma Nazarene Athletic Hall of Fame in 2002. Dr. Poteet is a member of the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame Committee, the chair of the Small College Basketball Association, and a member of Small College Basketball Foundation's Board of Directors.
All Biola people in the basketball realm should be really grateful to you, and I know I am because I know your history, I know how much you put into it, and I'm very thankful for you in many ways. So congratulations again on a much-deserved award, Jim.
Jim, your impact on all of small college basketball, from the NAIA to the NCCAA and more, is monumental. But your impact on lives is even more, all the way from Pasadena Christian, all the way to today at Kansas Christian, and stops at Point Loma, Southern Naz, Southwestern Christian. All of those, you have had impact. Jim, we celebrate you, we honor you, God's best on you, and I hope you're not done yet, because we all need you. Congratulations.
I played for Coach Jim Poteet from 1971 to 74 at Bethany Nazarene College. That was probably one of the biggest decisions I ever made in my life, leaving Southern California to go to Oklahoma. I've coached for almost 50 years, and I have to say that that's been one of the greatest pleasures of my life, learning from him how to be a great coach. Coach, what a great job you've done, and this is a great achievement. Congratulations. Love you.
Jim Poteet tells me how he watched me play at Eastern New Mexico University in the 1960s in Municipal Auditorium. He is the most authoritative small college historian I've ever been around, plus being an absolute great coach. What an honor for me to say these things. In modern society, he would be a 5-star recruit.
Jim Poteet, you are an absolutely amazing man in countless ways. As a player and a coach, you understood the fundamentals of the game as well as anybody.
Just want to tell you how much I'm thankful for the role that you played in my life. You've influenced so many different people. The success that I've had, both as a player and as a person and professionally, can all be attributed to the role that you played in helping me develop as a player.
Really delighted to call him my friend. of these many, many years. And so I really wish him the very best. He is not slowing down. That's evident. He will be, I'm sure, continuing to advocate for and promote small college basketball into the future.
We're delighted to congratulate him for this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Coach, we've had a lot of great memories over the years. I really enjoyed playing for you. I want to just say to this group that a lot of what I am is what you poured into me, and I appreciate that. Congratulations on this great honor.
Congratulations, Coach. I can't think of a more deserving person as a player and as a coach and administrator of small college basketball. You've been an ardent advocate and supporter for many years, and I can't think of anybody more deserving.
Coach Moteet, thank you for the role that you've played in my life professionally as it relates to basketball. We marvel at the influence that you have across the country and the number of people that know you and look up to you for the contribution that you've made to small college arena. And again, congratulations on this milestone in your life. May you and Peggy enjoy that and continue to enjoy the years as you move ahead through retirement.
Jim has been so instrumental in the game of college basketball, but also a leader in the NAIA and also a Hall of Fame member for us. So Jim, sorry I can't be there. I just wanted you to know how much at the NAIA we're thinking of you and appreciate your leadership over these years and just all you've done for the game of basketball and particularly at the small college level. So hope y'all are having a great evening and I'll see you soon.
Congrats, Dad, on getting the Small College Basketball Lifetime Achievement Award. If anyone deserves this award, it's definitely you, with how much you've poured your life into small college basketball and the game of basketball in general. You're definitely the inspiration for why I chose to be a high school athletic director and basketball coach, and I'm always trying to emulate you every day while I'm coaching. Congrats.
Small College Basketball is extremely proud to present Dr. Jim Poteet with the 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our stage a true winner and the winner of tonight's 2024 Small College Basketball Lifetime Achievement Award, Jim Poteet.
Well, thank you, and I want to congratulate all the winners tonight. I know it's been a long evening. I'm going to stick to my script and try to say what I want to say. Since even before the inception of the Small College Basketball Association, I have been passionately involved in the idea as envisioned by John McCarthy. My son Josh, who was employed by the NAIA in 2012, was asked to help McCarthy administrate the 75th annual NAIA tournament. There I met John, who with great passion shared his vision of the Small College Basketball Association. As I listened, my response to him was this: if you don't do it, nobody else will. John and I became good friends, and I have spent many hours assisting him as the SCB Association has taken its place as the capstone project highlighting the accomplishments of the young men and coaches of small college basketball. As I have witnessed almost every SCB Hall of Fame induction and national awards show, one consistent element of every event has been the introductions by winsome Dan Snell as the voice of God. As I've been moved by these introductions and Dan's wonderful voice, I began to think about the hand of God and its influence on my playing and coaching career. I played high school basketball in West Texas, and my goal was to play college basketball in a Christian college. I was fortunate to be recruited to Pasadena College, now Point Loma Nazarene University. My years at Pasadena College were outstanding, and I made the decision that coaching basketball was going to be my life's work. But I had yet to understand that basketball coaching would become more than just a job. My job would become a calling. It would become a ministry. I'll explain that in a moment. As I continued to mature and somehow made my way through school, I made probably the best decision of my life when I met and courted Peggy Ellis, my wife, on the campus of dear old Pasadena College. It was love at first sight, and we've now been married for over 62 years. Before graduating, however, I also learned about some wonderful basketball happenings that took place halfway around the world. I heard about a man named Don Odell, basketball coach at Taylor University, a small Christian college in Indiana. Odell had founded a ministry called Venture for Victory, a summer sports evangelism ministry that shared the Christian message throughout the world. The team, nicknamed Evangelists and Sneakers, played games against the best competition in many countries, and at halftime shared the message of Jesus through music and the spoken word. And tonight, there are at least 7 of us who are veterans, alumni of the Venture for Victory program. If you could see, I'd have them stand, but they are here. As I've learned more about this ministry and its success, the call to combine coaching and sports ministry grew and became a motivating force in my life. As I learned more about the game of basketball and its invention, I began to see why it was such a great game for me to live out my calling. What moved me most was watching young men bond together and tap into the magic that arises when they focus with their whole heart and soul on something greater than themselves. When you experience that, it's something you'll never forget. And soon that was happening in the programs where I coached. We were taking our teams on summer ministry trips. We were ministering in local churches. We were conducting basketball camps and sharing our Christian faith. The programs were becoming much larger than just winning basketball games. And those teams happened to be winning games and championships. The teams that I coached impacted the campus culture through the lives of our players. A culture had been built, and the culture became the capstone that continued to drive those programs. Most coaches I know spend most of their time focusing on the X's and O's of teaching the game. I must admit that at times I've fallen into that trap myself. But what fascinates me most about the game of basketball is not the endless chatter about dunk highlights and game strategy that ESPN streams on our television screens. But what challenges me much more is what I'd like to call the spiritual nature of the game. For you see, basketball was invented by a theology student, Canadian James Naismith. In his written recollection, Naismith tells of being on his knees each evening at the YMCA training school in Springfield, Massachusetts, asking for God's guidance as he completed his professor's assignment to invent a new indoor game he could use to mold the lives of young men and women. Now, that first game was played in December 1891 using 2 peach baskets nailed to an overhead running track at a height of 10 feet. Needless to say, Naismith invented a winner. His divinely inspired game became the first sport to be used by Venture for Victory in an organized approach to share the gospel of Jesus around the world. So for me, the art of transforming a group of young, ambitious players into an integrated championship team is not just a mechanized process. It requires more than the ability to teach them the fundamentals of the game and how to win. With a simple ball, rim, and a net, It provides the opportunity to influence the lives of young people through the divinely inspired game of James Naismith. It has been my privilege to follow that calling and see the hand of God at work in the lives of young men who played for me. Thank you, John, Small College Basketball, for this wonderful award. It is a highlight of my life. Thank you.